Is an appraisal an inspection or is it not? What is the difference between the appraisal and the inspection? What are they doing that is different? I do not understand. Before I started studying for my real estate exam, I owned 2 properties and I still would not have been able to tell you the difference between the two. But now that I'm a licensed realtor, having a good understanding of these concepts is crucial to helping my clients get what they want. So what an inspection is when a third-party contractor comes into a property, they take a look around and they note any flaws that are going on with the property, like maybe there's a sponge underneath the floorboard, or there's a rat in the ceiling, maybe Mickey Mouse is in the ceiling.
Don't make me choose between my country and my best friend, Goofy.
Yeah, typically is going to be a bunch of minor stuff that comes up, but every once in a while, the inspector is going to find like a major health or safety related item, which at that point, the buyer has the option of opting out of the deal, getting their earnest money back, or the seller can negotiate to fix it. And there's a lot of things that could happen in between, but that's kind of the role of the inspection, which is not to be confused with the appraisal. The appraisal is ordered by the lender to protect the lender, but it's also the buyer's information to help them make a decision as well. But basically, the appraiser comes in, they look around the property, and then they judge, mostly objectively, how much that property is worth. Because if you're the bank, you wouldn't just be giving up $1 million for a property that is only worth $300,000. That would just be bad business, wouldn't it? Hey, I'm selling my box. This box is worth $1 million. You want to buy it?
No.
But Brandon, why should I care?
Because you'll die if you don't.
Okay, so you're not going to die, but you're going to end up really confused, especially if you're in a heavy seller's market like this guy, Colorado Springs. So why is that? In order to explain it to you better, I'm going to run through a little example for you. Okay, so let's say that the property's list price is $250,000. So that's what it's coming up on the market for. We got a bunch of buyers coming in. Woo, we love this property, $250,000. What a steal. But then one guy is like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to pay $260,000 for this property. This property's awesome. And so the sellers say, well, that's great. We love that price, $260,000. That's amazing. I think we're going to take your offer, Mr. Buyer. Hooray. And so they go under contract. Everything is going great. The inspection goes great. But then the appraiser walks in and he's like, stop right there, you filthy animals. I decree that this property is only worth 250,000 coin. And so at that point, the bank goes, what? I'm not going to give you $260,000 for a place that's only worth $250,000. You got to be kidding me. And so now what we have is an appraisal gap. And in a heavy seller's market, typically that kind of stuff is going to be worked out beforehand because the listing agent would already be aware that the price at which the property is going to be gotten for is going to be more than what it was originally listed at, which in this particular example is going to be $10,000. And that clause would look something like, in the event the appraised value comes in lower than $260,000, the buyer agrees to pay $3,000 over appraised value in cash at closing, not to exceed the contract price. One important thing to note about that is that the earnest money can be used as collateral for that appraisal gap. So how that would work in the example that we were talking about before is the sellers would come down $7,000 and then the buyers would have to come up $3,000, making the sales price $253,000. Now, even at that point, the buyers could say, we're out of here if the sellers don't want to lower the price to that amount. And so for the selling side of the transaction, this is what they're going to be looking at because they want to make sure that they're going to get their money's worth on this transaction, because somebody could be promising the world, promising the sky, yeah, $300,000 for a $250,000 property. But at the end of the day, when that appraisal comes through, and if they know that that appraisal is going to be only $250,000, then we got to know where the dough is going to come in order to cover that gap. Okay, so I think that covers it for today's video. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, share to your friends, hit that notification bell. whatever other buttons are out there and promote my content so I could keep making more and educating the populace on what's going on today. EspinoRealty out.